With our tools and all provided parts at the ready, we can begin with our MMU construction. On we go then with the idler body assembly. We have the full kit here with all printed parts supplied, so we'll start the build with the fastener and plastic parts box, from which we'll need all idler and selector bags, as well as the fasteners. Whether it's self-printed or supplied within your kit, we're going to start the assembly with the central idler, complete with all these equally spaced slots stretched around the entire unit, 5 in total. The idea here is to install a bearing into each slot, but there's a sequence that needs to be followed in order to successfully get them all into place, otherwise it just won't work. Starting with the centermost slot then, drop in the first bearing, before inserting a bearing shaft from the side, making sure it's going into the correct side and into the correct opening. And then push it down into place using an Allen key. The shaft should go all the way into the center of the bearing we just installed, holding it in place, while at the same time care must be taken so that it's not blocking the next bearing slot. With that done, we'll literally need to repeat the same process with all remaining bearings, but from the center outwards. So go ahead and drop the adjacent bearing in the same way as the first, before pushing in a shaft through the next opening and right down into the center of the bearing, again making sure it's far enough to not obstruct the next opening, leaving space to install the third bearing, and securing with its shaft. Note this shaft may sit slightly tighter than the others so that it's friction held in place and shouldn't fall out. In essence, each bearing traps the previous shaft in place. With that done, turn the idler around to continue with the bearing assembly from the other side. So again, insert a bearing into the inner slot and secure with a bearing shaft before filling the final slot and the final shaft. It's important to ensure all bearings can rotate freely at this point. You shouldn't feel significant friction or bumps while rotating. If you do, I'd recommend disassembling and shaving the plastic down a touch so the bearings rotate freely. Note, if you do need to disassemble, there are smaller openings which can be used alongside a 2mm Allen key to push a shaft out from the opposite direction. Just ensure you work from the outer bearings inwards, since each central shaft is blocked by an outer bearing. Okay, so with that done, take the final remaining bearing and push it into the opening at the end, enough so that it sits flush with the edge of the idler. After which we're done with the idler preparation and can move across to the coupler. We need to prepare this with its grub screws before attaching to the idler, so with an M4x5 grub screw in hand, feed it into the threads on one side of the coupler, before repeating with the second grub screw on the opposite side. Note that while you want these grub screws to sit securely and bite into the threads, ensure they do not go in far enough to obstruct the opening in the center. So if you can see the tip of either grub screw in the center, back them off a touch for now. We can now secure the coupler to the side of the idler, opposite to the bearing, into these 4 holes, using 4 M3x10 screws. Install all 4 loosely for the moment, since we want to stop and verify correct orientation here. So, holding the idler with the flat side at the bottom, and all 5 installed bearings around the top, note the orientation of the coupler. The grub screws should be protruding in a diagonal fashion in the direction shown here. This is an important step, so once confirmed correct, go ahead and tighten the M3x10 screws down the rest of the way. No need to over tighten here, just until snug. This mechanism is vital for the correct functioning of the entire unit once it's complete, so take a moment to double check the assembly to ensure all 5 bearings can rotate freely. The side bearing is flush with the idler body, the coupler M3 screws are on nice and snug, and that the grub screws are in the correct orientation and do not protrude into the center of the coupler. With that confirmed, we can move on to preparing the main idler body. The idler body is one of the larger parts in the build, and we'll start by inserting one of the smallest parts, a tiny rubber stopper, which allows for more reliable homing while also reducing noise, although this can be a difficult step since the stopper needs to be inserted into this small opening on the idler body. Start by using an Allen key to clean out the opening, and then insert the stopper, slightly wetting the stopper with some grease, even saliva or water will help, as will rotating it slightly while you press in with your thumb. It needs to be inserted in fully, enough so that the bottom part of the stopper is visible from the opposite side. With that done, we can now proceed to installing the idler we previously prepared into the body. Orientation is important here, so make sure the metal coupler is pointing towards the large opening in the idler body, so to the right side when looking in this orientation, while also ensuring the middle bearing is pointing upwards, before sliding the idler across to the left so that there is as small a gap as possible, and while holding, insert a 5x16 metal shaft into the opening on the left side of the idler body, far enough so that it seats into the bearing that was placed into the side of the idler, and then secure its position with a single M3x10 screw, going directly into the idler body at a 90-degree angle to the shaft, now keeping the shaft securely in place. Okay, so back to the opposite side then, in order to insert a single M3 square nut into the opening available, and pushing right down into the recess using an Allen key, making sure it lines up with the hole just beneath. Finally, looking at the assembly from the top, rotate the idler slightly so that one of the grub screws in the coupler is facing directly upwards. This will help with motor installation, which is precisely what we'll be doing next. So reach for the idler motor from your motors box, it'll be clearly labelled so you can't really go wrong here, and with the motor in hand, orientate it so that the motor wire points upwards. Rotate the motor shaft so that the flat side is pointing upwards too, before inserting the shaft through the hole in the idler body and into the coupler until the motor sits flush. And then partially tighten the top grub screw. We're not fully tightening this down just yet, just enough so that rotating the idler also rotates the motor shaft, but loose enough so that the motor shaft can still slide in and out. With that done, insert two M3x10 screws to secure the two top corners of the motor, just enough so that the screws catch into the respective threads on the motor body. Do not tighten these down just yet, since we want to turn the assembly over, and insert another two M3x10 screws into the bottom two corners, which we need to fully tighten until snug using the ball end of a 2.5mm Allen key at an angle. We can then revisit the top two motor screws and tighten down until snug. With motor now secured into position, push the idler to the left, so away from the motor, leaving only a very small gap on the left side. This is an important step, as leaving a larger gap here will mean the idler bearings won't align with the filament correctly later. So with that in place, proceed to tighten down the first grub screw on the coupler, which should still be in place above the flat side of the shaft we set in place a moment ago, before rotating the idler so that you can access and tighten the second grub screw down onto the motor shaft. And with that done, that's our idler body assembly complete. Take a moment to ensure everything is in place, all screws are firm, and your assembly looks exactly like the one shown here. Once confirmed, we're ready to move on to the next part of the build, selector assembly.